So it's Lisa Jane here, back on Wildcat Fitness UK YouTube channel. So I thought today I would take you through a resistance band circuit, and I've chosen to come here to beautiful Ravenscourt Park to do an outdoor workout. I think this is a great workout to do outside because it does require such minimal equipment. If you don't have a local park close to you, you can do this in your own garden, or you don't actually need to be outside. So if the weather's bad, you've got no excuse, you could do this in the comfort of your bedroom or your front room. But for the purpose of today, I'm going to be outside in the park. So as I said, it's going to be a resistance band based workout, so I'm going to be using these particular resistance bands. I bought mine. I've got a set of about 6 different strengths and resistances. I got mine from Amazon. It's about £25–30 for a set, so no excuses if you don't go to the gym or you're on a budget. It's really cheap to get some decent resistance bands, and today I'm going to show you 5 different exercises with them. Before we get going with the bands, I'm going to do my warm-up. So what I generally do when I come outside for a park workout is find a kind of a stretch where I can get a good kind of run going. So I'm going to go lightly jogging down there, and then when I get to the end, turn around, come back and do a sprint back. So that should get me nice and warm. So bands away, I'm going to get on with my warm-up, guys. Light band, so this is £8, which is equivalent to just over 4 kg. So you might want to start nice and light, and then as you get more experience, you can use a heavier band. So this is what's going to happen. You're going to stand with your feet hip width apart and stand on the band. So the band's going to be underneath the middle of your feet. It should be pretty much equal, so you can see my hands pretty much level with my hips. And from here, I'm going to cross the band over, so it's in a crisscross position underneath my feet and cross. My elbows are then going to look into my waist and my palms are going to face forward. From here, just pull a little bit, add a bit of resistance onto the band, come down into a mini squat, so weight into the heels, push the bum back, keep the chest lifted. We're going to take 6 steps one way, 6 steps in the other direction, using the inner and outer thighs. So it's important that you stay nice and low, step out, then control it back in. Step out, control it back in. So you're not taking great big steps, similarly you're not taking one tiny baby ones, nor are you coming too close together and losing resistance on the band. So you take it out, control it in, staying nice and low. So you should really be feeling this into those thighs. So that's 6 one way, then we take it back the other way, keeping those elbows in. Step it out, control back in, step out, control back in. So be pushing through the outside of your foot to really activate through those thighs. Make sure you don't end up standing up. You should have tension on those bands the whole way through. So one more step this way. So that's 1 set there and back, and then we do it twice more over. So just make sure, nice and low, knees nice and soft. As I said, always push out through the side of that foot. Probably starting to burn into the outer thighs right about now. You might be feeling it into your bum as well. Make sure that chest stays lifted, so try not to end up bent over. You don't want any pressure on that lower back. Keep the palms in, keep the elbows close to the body, and you should really feel that tension into the sides of the legs. So one more set there and back, step it out, squeeze it in, step it out, keep that core nice and tight, belly button drawn into the spine the whole way through. As you can see, my steps are always roughly about equal, so they're not too wide, they're not too shallow, and you can physically see that tension on the band the whole way through, just getting right in to those inner and outer thighs. Good. One more time, step it out, and then you're done. So that's one way on top of the monster walks. For the next exercise, and as you can see, I've actually changed the colour of the band. So this one is a little bit lighter resistance. This one is £5, so that's just under 3 kg. The reason being is that the elastic has got further to travel in this exercise. You'll see why when we demonstrate it. So this one is for the upper and lower body combined, so it's what's called a compound exercise because you're working both extremes of the body at once. It's a lunge with a shoulder press. And again, I'm just going to take you guys through one round of this, so it's going to be 10 lunges on each leg. So this is what we're going to do. Again, you're going to be standing on the band. So I'm going to start with my right leg this time. So it's the same deal. You're standing on the middle of it, and you've got pretty much equal width on each side. Now, normal lunge technique applies for these. So my feet are roughly hip width apart. I've taken a long step back, my back heel is lifted, and my weight is in the front leg. It's the right leg that's doing the work here. I'm going to turn my hands round, so I've got my palms facing forward, and then what's going to happen, staying nice and tall, I'm dropping it down into a lunge, weight is into the front foot and driving up overhead into your shoulder press. Dropping down into the lunge, back knee towards the floor, driving up and slightly overhead to work into the shoulders. So it's a continuous movement. I come down and I work into my glutes, then I drive over the top, working into my shoulder muscles. So that's 5, so halfway on this leg. So as you can see, I'm at 90 degrees in my front and my back foot. The weight remains into my front heel, so I'm not feeling any tightness into my back hip flexible. 2 more to go, and that's the right leg done. Driving up through those shoulders to slightly in front of my face. Last one, push it up. I'm going to change and do exactly the same on the other leg. The left foot steps on the band, long, wide stance, weight is in my front foot, keeping my balance, palms are facing forward, drop down into the lunge, drive up and slightly overhead. So again, weight in the front foot, body nice and tall, chest lifted, squeezing the bands up and overhead, working into my shoulders. 90 degrees front and back, my front knee stays in line with my front ankle, so it's not coming over the toes. 5, that's halfway, 5 more to go, drop it down, squeeze and drive in front of the shoulders. 4 more, keeping that weight in the front heel. My belly is nice and tight, drawn in towards the spine. Last 2 to go, squeeze up through the shoulders. 1 more time, big push to the top. Done. So that's our second exercise. So guys, our next exercise, and as you can see I'm sitting down because we're going to isolate working to the upper body now. I've gone for a heavier band again this time, so this one's equivalent to 13 pounds, so about 8-9 kg, because we're doing some isolation work we can afford to add a little bit of extra resistance. So I've looped mine around a tree. If you're in your backyard, you could loop it around a post, a fence, or if, as I say, if you're in a hotel room or your bedroom, just find something solid that you can wrap the band around so that when you're pulling, you've got something to anchor it against. A tree in a park is absolutely perfect. So I'm sitting down, my body is nice and tall. I've got a handle in each hand and my palms are facing inwards. Keeping that nice upright position, tall in the spine and tight in the core. I'm just going to squeeze in, so I'm activating between my shoulder blades. Elbows are really, really close to my body. Slowly release off, but not all the way. Keep a little bit of tension. Big squeeze in, into that upper back and shoulders. Slow release off. So we're going to go for 15 reps of this. Big squeeze in between the shoulder blades. My body's not moving at all, so I'm not using any momentum. Just really trying to activate into my upper back, into the tops of my shoulders, a little bit into the backs of my arms as well. So I'm staying nice and tall. I'm trying not to slouch forward. Keeping my abdominals engaged throughout this exercise. And I'm keeping tension the whole way through the movement. So big squeeze in, slow release off. My elbows are not flaring out from my waist. I'm keeping them really nice and close. And as I said, as I'm coming back down, just keeping a little bit of a bend, a little bit of tension in the band so that my muscles are working the whole way through this exercise. So this is 10 reps, so we've got 5 more to go. Every time I'm actually thinking about the muscles that I'm using, so I'm really trying to get a big squeeze into my upper back, into my shoulders. So this should really be starting to burn right about now. So just feeling that upper back really starting to work. So 2 more in this set. Big squeeze in, body nice and tall, core tight. And then when you're ready, 1 more time, big squeeze all the way in and slowly release off. So 2 more exercises to go, and this next one is very much a cardio focused exercise. Really get that heart rate nice and high towards the end. So it's going to be a squat jump. Again, I've got quite a heavy-ish resistance on the band, so I'm staying with the one that I just used for that seated row. So that's the 13-pound one, so about 7-8 kg. I've looped it around the branch of a tree. Again, you just want something kind of stable that's going to support your weight. So top of a door, something if you're at home you can use as a door kind of holster that comes with this kit. So if you're indoors you can do this as well. But yeah, branch of a tree, top of a fence post, something like that if you're either in a park or in your garden. So this is what's going to happen. You're going to take a hand on each of the handles. You're going to take it back, so you're just feeling a little bit of tension through that band, so it's just trying to pull you slightly up. You're going to come down into a normal squat position, so weight into the heels, chest lifted, and using a little bit of that momentum through the band to a nice big jump. So I'm going to go slowly for the first one. Coming down, weight into the heels, nice big squat. that heart rate nice and high. 4 more to go. Big drive. 3 more. Pause. Last 2. One more time. Good job. So our last exercise in the circuit is one for our core, our abdominals. I'm just going to be using one band again. Relatively light, but it should be one that you can easily double up, because what we're going to do is just pull it this way just to get a little bit of resistance and work into the shoulders. But the main focus of this exercise, as I say, is your core and your waistline. So you're in a seated position, as you can see. Feet are flat on the floor, knees are slightly bent. And as I say, just pull on either side, just get a little bit of resistance going. So it's not a full chest expansion, but similarly you shouldn't have it slack either. So you're just pulling, so you can feel just a little bit of tension there in the upper shoulders. And you're going to lean yourself back, take it to the point in which you feel your core is engaging. So you should feel just a tightening of those abdominal muscles, just really holding you in place. For some people that might be here, for some people that might be here. Take it to your point where you're just feeling that core switching on. So you're leaning back, and then once you're in your position, you're just going to start to row your band side to side, almost in a figure of 8 type motion. So you're rowing one side, rowing the other, really squeezing into the top of the abdominals, into the waistline. I'm not letting that upper back sag, I'm not leaning back and relaxing, keeping the tension into the bands. And we're just going to do this for 30 seconds, just rowing side to side. It's absolutely fine to let the band touch the floor on the way down. Just really nice and deep, literally like you're rowing a boat. Squeezing into the abs, keeping that body nice and still, working right into the core. So just a few more seconds to go, squeezing each side into the waist. We'll finish this off in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So guys, that was the resistance band outdoor workout. As I said, you could do it indoors if you prefer. So the 5 exercises: the monster walk, the lunge and the shoulder press, the seated band row, the jumping squats, and the resistance band seated abdominal row. Ideally, perform those 5 exercises back to back in the way that I just showed you, and do that 3 times over in your circuit. So that's probably going to take you about 40 minutes. So by the time you factor in your warm-up, like I showed you, and a little bit of stretching at the end, you've probably got around 45, just under 50 minutes of workout. If you haven't got that time, then just do what you can. Even just 1 round of that circuit, as you can tell from me, is enough to get your heart rate up and your blood pumping, or you can add it in as well as other things. So say you've gone outside for a jog for 15-20 minutes, add that circuit on at the end for a little bit of resistance training. You can mix and match it into your own routine. As I say, I recommend as a workout on its own, running 3 rounds of that back to back. But give it a try, let me know how you get on, let me know what you think, and enjoy your workouts.